and I'm the associate producer of the show, so it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm learning a lot. We actually have been all over doing interviews for our All Access Oscar special, and we got a special look into PS22 Chorus, which is a group of adorable fifth graders that are performing on Oscar Sunday. When we were back on the East Coast, Kayla Harity went out to Staten Island to see how they're preparing.
Mr. B! Mr. B! Mr. B!
Staten Island is going Hollywood, and Mr. B is their golden ticket. Greg Breinberg, or as the fifth graders call him, Mr. B, is behind the voices of the PS22 Chorus.
I knew from the get-go that there was something special about what was going on in this auditorium. I used to say for years, they're like the best kept secret in Staten Island, and it's kind of cool that the secret's out in such a big way.
This Staten Island secret is going on a field trip of a lifetime. They will wave their parents goodbye and say hello to Tinseltown, where they'll perform at the Oscars.
I thought it was unreal. I couldn't believe it. I never thought for a minute that we'd be allowed to do it. I was convinced that, the Department of Education would nix it, because this is a huge endeavor bringing 65 kids out to LA. But lo and behold, they got behind this and are supporting it 100%. And, we're going to make this happen one way or another.
The dreams they dare to dream really are coming true. Anne Hathaway surprised them with an Oscar invitation, and the Academy chose Somewhere Over the Rainbow for their big debut.
The kids reacted as expected. I knew they would go nuts. They, you know what the thing is about these kids? It's like, it's all in the delivery. It's like, I can say, guys, guess what? We're gonna sing at the dentist, and they'll be super thrilled and psyched.
The fifth graders will put their own spin on the typical red carpet attire.
I think I want to wear my chorus shirt. It represents us.
And after the red carpet is rolled up, there is only one thing on the minds of the PS22 Chorus: a slumber party.
The part that I can't wait for is to sleep in the same room with my friends.
The PS22 Chorus will be walking the red carpet with WEBN on Oscar Sunday. Reporting from the PS22 Auditorium, I'm Kayla Harity.
Yesterday we got our credentials and started exploring the red carpet, and today we have a long list of exclusive interviews with actors, producers, and even the Academy president.
So Tori, I know you're getting ready, you have all day, so what are you going to be wearing on Sunday, and what are you looking for from the celebrities who are coming?
Sunday, I'm actually wearing a long brown dress that has a lot of beads. I'm really, really excited. I think I'm looking forward. You mean in terms of dressing for the stars?
Like, is it Natalie Portman? Who's the star that you're waiting to see on the carpet?
Natalie Portman. I'm actually going to be in the press room, so I'm going to get to see the winners walk through, which is going to be awesome. So if Natalie wins, I'm so excited. I'm going to get to see her as soon as she says her acceptance speech. She walks through, and I'll be in the press room to see her. So I'm sure she's going to look absolutely amazing.
That is absolutely amazing.
I'm trying to figure out what she's going to wear.
Just keep us updated.
Do you have any ideas?
So, all right, Tori, you're having a great time out there. Has it been any kind of a difficult adjustment for you going from reporting at the college level to now you're on the world stage at the Oscars? What's that like for you?
It's overwhelming, I think, in a way, but we have to jump right into it, so there's kind of not even really a transition process. You have to act like, we're right back at Emerson, and, as if we were there, just like we've always done it. We can't really do things any different. We haven't really had a time to think about it, honestly. We're standing here, and it's really surreal, but it's our job right now, and this is where we're supposed to be, so we are professionals, even no matter where we are, so.
Tori, very quick question. We're going to be doing our picks later, but your pick for Best Picture?
I'm going to say Social Network. I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was awesome.
Well, you will see what we're going to say as well.
Who would have thought?
Okay,
Social Network, Best Picture. It is now time for our last commercial break, but when we come back, our very own entertainment correspondent, Omri Rowland, will be here in studio to give us a rundown of the big Oscar show on Sunday.
And out of that, we'll be discussing Terry and Pat's picks for the 2011 Academy Awards. Stay tuned.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm your entertainment correspondent, Omri Rowland, exhausted down to my winner's bone for browsing all the social networks and listening to all the King's speeches so that I can get down to the true grit of what the 83rd Academy Awards are all about. With less than 127 hours until the big event, the race for the golden statue is no longer a Toy Story like it was in its inception. Our contenders are getting in fighter shape and practicing their losing smile and clap combination in case they lose, because come Sunday night, if they're Black Swan show, the kids won't be all right. The 2011 Oscars marks the first time a man and a woman will share hosting duties, and I could think of no better pairing than Frank-Away. Both actors are Oscar nominees in their own right, Hathaway for 2008's Rachel Getting Married, and Franco is nominated this year for his role in 127 Hours. The hosting honors usually goes to a well-known comedian such as Billy Crystal, Jon Stewart, or Ellen DeGeneres. So what can we expect from Frank-Away? I have my fingers crossed for a musical number from Anne, reminiscent of her cameo in Hugh Jackman's intro when he hosted the Oscars back in 2008. Hathaway joined Jackman for a song and dance honoring Frost Nixon, where Anne was able to show both her musical and comedic chops when she sang about Nixon's love for Frost while striking his signature pose. As for Franco, who knows? The Freaks and Geeks actor turned Spider-Man villain, turned Yale student, turned Oscar nominee, turned soap opera star is anything but predictable. One thing is for sure, though, he will not be singing Cher's You Haven't Seen the Last of Me from the Razzie-targeted movie Burlesque. There were rumors swirling that Franco would go on stage in Cher drag and attempt the ballad, only to be given the boot by Cher herself. Amazing idea, right? Unfortunately, Oscars execs pulled the plug on the performance when the Diane Warren penned song, that won the Golden Globe, by the way, wasn't even nominated for an Oscar. Franco put up his version of the Cher tune online, and after listening to the first 20 seconds, I think it's for the best that he keeps his vocal stylings to a minimum. But Franco's singing isn't the only talent that went unnoticed by the Academy this year, which is why I've compiled my picks for 2011's Top 5 Oscar snubs. The number 5 spot belongs to funny woman Joan Rivers' documentary, Joan Rivers, A Piece of Work. The documentary highlights the struggle for women in the industry to stay relevant. It was both hilarious and moving, and most definitely deserving of a nomination. Next up is Christopher Nolan, who is no stranger to getting snubbed by the Oscars. Last year, the Academy did not recognize Nolan for his brilliant work in directing The Dark Knight, and this year he got the same treatment. Really, Academy members? 8 Oscar nominations for Inception and 8 for The Dark Knight, but none for Nolan? Shame on you. A movie that garnered a lot of buzz this year was Blue Valentine. The little indie movie that could was well received by critics, especially its stars Michelle Williams and Ryan Gosling. Although Michelle snagged herself an Oscar nod, Ryan was left blue and loveless, but that makes him eligible for snub spot number 3. The number 2 spot on my snub list is shared by Black Swan co-stars Mila Kunis and Barbara Hershey. Both performances held their own against Oscar sweetheart Natalie Portman, and that alone should get them some kind of award. And the biggest oversight by the Academy this year is without a doubt The Social Network's Andrew Garfield. His portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg's best friend turned worst enemy, Eduardo Severin, was one of the best performances of the year, supporting or not. Don't worry, Andrew, you get my award for biggest snub, and don't get down on yourself, you're the new Spider-Man. That's it for me and your Oscar preview. Now back to the 2 men the Oscar statue was molded after, Terry and Pat.
Well, thank you, Omri. Now, Pat and I are going to talk about our own Oscar predictions.
Now, I don't know about you, but I have been literally following every critics poll, every fan poll. I've read every review, and these are Terry and Pat's picks.
A lot of work.
First up is Best Actress, Terry.
Oh, my girl, Natalie Portman.
Your girl.
My
They
girl.
have history.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, and she's going to look gorgeous at the Oscars, and I rarely, go out and say that in public. But here's what I love about her role here, is that the contrast between the white and the black swan kind of parallels her career a little bit. You've got her more innocent roles like Padme in the Star Wars series, and then you have this dark and gripping role in Black Swan, and I think she's going to take home the award for it.
I've never heard something so deep. Now, am I personally a fan of Natalie? Yes. The baby bump? I don't know so much.
Yeah, what's your problem with that?
Well, it's bad.
She's got to show it
It's
off.
bad for dresses, but to someone who's not going to be wearing a dress, it's our best actor. Though I would love it. My prediction for best actor is really Colin Firth. Colin Firth's been nominated many times in the past, and his role in King's Speech is brilliant. It's absolutely beautiful. He's been nominated a few times. The real thing is Jeff Bridges won last year for a role that really wasn't too impressive. It was kind of seen as a career highlight win. This year in True Grit, he really had the potential to win Best Actor, but he can't win twice. So this one's kind of a clear-cut win for Colin Firth. But to something that has potential for upset, I think, is a category for Best Supporting Actress. Now, we have 2 real contenders in this, Melissa Leo for The Fighter and Haley Steinfeld from True Grit. Melissa Leo has won basically everything up to the point and has a brilliant role, but Haley plays really she should have been nominated for Best Actress. She was given the the minor one because it's her first real breakthrough role. It's one of the best roles by a young actress in rather the decade, and potentially the voters may give the upset because we're all biased towards younger kids. We all want an Abigail Breslin
You gotta love
to
the
win.
kids.
And now what about for Best Supporting Actor for you?
Okay, well, Christian Bale, I think, is the favorite to take this one home. He was unbelievable in The Fighter, and the physical transformation that he made for this role. He lost a lot of weight. He didn't want to do it. Didn't realize that he had to lose that weight when he took the role, but he pulls it off phenomenally. But my personal favorite here is Jeremy Renner.
Oh, God.
What's wrong with Jeremy Renner? You got a California
right?
beach boy here, right? And he wins over not only director Ben Affleck, but the Boston movie-going audience. And we are very, very critical, and especially if somebody's going to be doing a Boston accent like he did here.
I don't know how you can think Jeremy Renner or the town even have a chance in any of the awards. Really, Jeffrey
Throw him a bone.
Rush from The King's Speech could have won, but it's going to be Christian Bale. And now to finally the Best Picture. Best Picture is a big debate this year: The King's Speech versus The Social Network. Now, King's Speech is overall a better film within itself, but in 10 years to 100 years, the thing that makes the Best Picture is the fact that it lasts forever. And The Social Network, as a self-reflective kind of view of our generation and today, I think is going to take the win. It's taken the win for everything so far, though the Producers Guild saw The King's Speech. So it's a contender for King's Speech, but Social Network is probably the win.
Here's what I love about The Social Network, is that we live in a world where every news broadcast has to have some package on the relevance of social media, and along comes a movie that goes so much deeper than that. The backdrop is social media, but it's really a commentary on the 21st century human condition. It's emotional, it's about relationships. You gotta love it. Aaron Sorkin knocks it out of the park.
Now I'm waiting for the Twitter sequel.
Well, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us for our Oscar show. Next Tuesday, the nonprofit organization Safe People, Safe Pets, they will be joining us in studio.
Anna Rudis will be back hosting, and she is going to be bringing a very special friend to the studio, her puppy. And don't forget to watch the 83rd Annual Academy Awards this Sunday at 8 p.m.
Bye, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Goodbye.
Enjoy the Oscars.
Thank you. You love me.